Good afternoon, and welcome to Straight Talking with Kelly, where real conversations happen. This is where you'll meet some of the most intelligent, creative, and knowledgeable people that come to share resources, tips, and knowledge on various topics. My guests come from many industries that include fashion, education, health and wellness, hospitality, culinary arts, and so much more. Join me and my guest, Sylvia Montgomery. She is the founder and executive consultant of Best Impressions, Image Development Services. We will talk about her 35-year plus journey as an image and etiquette consultant. Welcome, Miss Sylvia.
Well, thank you so much. I am so happy and thrilled to be here, Kelly. You know, we go from way back when, but I really appreciate you inviting me to be your host today.
All right.
To be your guest today. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. And I'm looking forward to us having a wonderful time sharing about your experience. So, Sylvia, before we get started, let me read a little bit about you. Sylvia Montgomery is the founder and executive consultant of Best Impressions Image Development Services and has been advising women, men, and young people on how to develop, enhance, and refine their image for over 35 plus years. She specializes in private consultation, personalized workshops, and training on total image development. And of course, you'll learn more about her 35-year journey as an image and etiquette consultant. But before we jump into all of that, I want to walk down memory lane with her because Sylvia and I have known each other for many years. I recently met with Meryl Lee. Meryl Lee was over at my house just recently. And we were able to talk about it. Meryl Lee Montefiore is the founder of IICI, which is Image Industry Council International. It was an image organization that Sylvia and I were both members of, and that's where I actually met Sylvia. And the beauty about that is that we were part of the founding members of the image industry when it first began. And so I actually put down some of the names of the people that really helped get this industry started. It was Carol Jackson of Color Me Beautiful, Emily Choi of Looking Terrific, Bobby Jean Thompson of the Scarf Tie and Magic, and so much more. And these were part of Meryl Lee's roster. These were the people that we interacted with. And then of course, Susie Woodward Morris, who actually comes to my class constantly to speak with students, as you did. So, and then we worked together on many projects that included etiquette training for young girls, and your many lectures on color analysis to my students at City College of San Francisco. And then we were also image consultants together in beauty control. Now we're consultants with Color Me Beautiful. Does anything in particular stand out for you between our relationship?
Oh my gosh, I think that the main thing, and we've been together for so long, I had forgotten when we had met. And then I was like, wait a minute. Okay, I said, yes, that's where we met. And so it was just amazing. And so I have this binder that has all, I guess it just has all the pictures of our journey, of all the things that we did together. And each time it was just amazing how much fun it was. And I learned so much. And you were the Energizer bunny. You're into everything. And I was more the laid back. I let my appearance, play the role where you were in and out and in and in and in and out. And I was like, whoa, okay.
Okay. No, we've had some wonderful times together, and not just as business partners, but also as family. We've done things with our families together. So it's been wonderful.
Yes.
So Sylvia, now what I would like for you to tell me is where you were born and raised and what schools you attended.
Okay. I was born in Jackson, Tennessee. And I came here to California when I was 4.
Oh, okay.
And so, I'm the eldest of 8 siblings.
Okay.
And it was really, I'm really blessed that my family is so close. We were just always together, and my best friends were most of the time my sisters and brothers, and it still is that way.
That's beautiful.
But yes, but I started as an image consultant that I didn't have a clue if that was what it was. But my father was a tailor, and he owned a tailor and alteration shop, and he wanted it to be a family thing, but he saw that I had some talent as far as sewing is concerned, so he kind of forced me to do it, but I learned that it was wonderful. And he would say, I'm not buying you anything. If you want to buy fabric or whatever, you got to make it. So at 14, I made my first suit, and it was fabulous. I mean, everything lined. It was a wool 3-piece outfit. What they call a 3/4 length jacket, full jacket with bound buttonholes, lined, everything. And that was my first suit, and I got so many compliments with that. And so that's where I started at 14, and I just loved the way that industry or that field was going.
Okay,
Yes,
before you go, what schools did you attend though?
Oh, girl, I don't remember.
Okay.
It was they weren't very good.
Oh, but I know you
Yes,
went to
yes.
college, and I know you
Oh,
in
yes,
college you took
yes. Oh, yes. I went to College of Alameda and took sewing, as I always thought it was the fashion arts department. And I got my AA in fashion arts from College of Alameda. And then I got my BA from San Francisco State College, and in home economics with emphasis on clothing and textiles.
Yeah.
And so those were the two schools that I went to. Of course, I went to a lot of classes and stuff like that. And IICI was probably one of those resources that helped me to build where I am. Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of jumped ahead of the game when I was going to ask you about why, what made you become an image consultant. And I actually remembered about your dad.
Yes.
Because even when I met you, you were still making beautiful clothes, and you loved sewing with Dupioni silk. I would love to hear you say, "I made something."
Yes. I loved it. And they were all, Dupioni silk and wool jerseys. They had beautiful fabrics to choose from.
They still do.
Yeah. But they would have. I loved to do that.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was making everything from wedding gowns to career wear. I didn't go into menswear. That was my dad and my brother's thing.
So now, what made you, other than the fact that, you were really raised around fashion with your dad, because he was a milliner too, wasn't he?
Yeah, we both were milliners, but he was really definitely a milliner.
Right, I remember.
But I could do it too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now, tell me, what made you, other than, being raised by your dad and being around fashion all the time, what really made you say, I want to be an image consultant?
That's a great question. When I graduated from San Francisco State, I went to a College of Alameda, and that's where I found out there were so many different avenues you could go to through, in that fashion industry besides sewing.
Okay.
And so when I came back, one of my teachers, I was like, you know what? I'd like to be an image consultant. And she stopped and she looked at me and she says, you'll never be accepted. You can't be an image consultant. It is too highly, competitive.
Okay.
And she said, you're too old. You're African American. You don't have any schooling on being an image consultant, and you'll be competing with young, white, models that have gone through fashion school and gone through what do they call it? Gosh, what? Yeah, modeling school and something else that
Like the charm school, maybe?
yes,
Charm school? Yes.
charm
Yeah.
school. And those were the ones that would be able to go into these stores. Besides that, at that time, they weren't hiring very many African Americans to work in one of the high end stores. So that kind of put a little trip on me. But my girlfriend, she said, no, we're gonna find you something. So I started working. I started working at casual corner stores.
Okay.
And that was back in the 80s, right after I graduated. And that was back in the 80s where women were now joining the work field and they had to compete with men.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked in the store, the store for about 2 weeks, and job opened up as for being an image consultant. And so I got the job.
Nice.
Very impressed. You know, they were like with their mouths open, say, "Wow, this woman knows what she's talking about." So I was the East Bay. What is the name of the East Bay? Oh gosh. Well, I was the East Bay area fashion consultant for
Okay.
East Bay. Yeah, it had a much greater title. I just can't remember what it was.
But you know what? That's beautiful. I think what that actually makes me think about too is as we were members with IICI, I think it was just you and I, African Americans, come to think of it. But Meryl Lee, one thing about her organization is that it was inclusive to Asians,
Yes,
everybody,
yes,
you know,
yes,
because she
yes.
herself was Filipino,
Right.
as opposed to AICI, which was definitely a well white bread kind of
Right. High society. Yeah,
organization.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you know, but and a lot of their members start coming to IICI, so that was kind of fascinating.
Mhm.
So now, can you explain briefly, not in a whole bunch of details, but briefly what an image consultant does?
Okay, an image consultant is a person that helps individuals to look their best, to feel confident in the way they dress and behave. And also, as an image consultant, we do more than just do colors and the visual effects. We pretty much like coaches, where we help them to feel comfortable and confident. We put together their wardrobes that will enhance their budget, their lifestyle, and put together these wonderful outfits and these wardrobes that will help them to look their best, to feel great, and to build their confidence, and also to make sure that they how they are perceived by others, because it's not just you. You have you especially if you're in work or whatever, you have to have a first impression, or a beautiful, wonderful, professional first impression. And so that's what we do and what I do with my clients.
Okay. And when the simple fact that yours is called best impression, because you actually have 30 seconds to make an impression.
Yes.
Because as soon as you walk through that door, people are sizing you up.
Yes, yeah, the judgment.
Oh, baby. Well, they have all those different assumptions about your economic situation, your education. So they kind of look at you and start thinking, okay, pegging you out and determining whether they want to interact with you or not.
Definitely.
So because of the work that you do, you help them put forth that best impression.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, when people are getting ready to do that, whatever it is, how they start judging, that person is ready for it.
Yes.
So now here's a question for the audience. What percentage of the clothes in your closet do you wear most of the time?
Oh,
so
gosh.
Sylvia, what's the answer to that?
In which closet?
Not yours, but I'm just saying that as an image consultant, this is a question that we ask them. Like, what percentage of the clothes in your closets do you wear most of the time?
20% or less.
Yeah.
And majority of the clothes that are in your closet, you don't wear them because of not knowing what to wear, how to wear it. That's where color analysis comes in. That's where learning how to fit your how the clothes that fit you the best. That's learning what clothes go where, what is your lifestyle, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And so though that's a lot of the mistakes that people make.
Yeah.
They look in magazines, you know, and television or someone else to decide on what they should be wearing, and it's
Yeah.
not customized or unique to them.
And that's one of the things that I know. As you know, I do teach personal styling at City College. And I tell people, I said, you mentioned it. It's the lifestyle, it's the body type, it's the color analysis. It's just so many factors that go into it that, it's not just, I guess because the TV shows of what not to wear and what not to wear, they just throw stuff on people. And I see sometimes they put people on stuff and they don't look comfortable in that stuff.
No.
Because you have to talk to the client. What is it that
Right.
they want? So
Definitely.
Sylvia, one of the things that I know that is your expertise is color analysis. But before we talk about color analysis, I want you, because I'm looking at you with all these beautiful colors on, and I'm like, matter of fact, you made me put on color today. I said, Lord, I know she gonna come with the rainbow bright. Because I was gonna wear something black. But I said, no, I know Sylvia's going to come with color. So I'm getting ready to bounce
I love it.
right along with her. So yeah, you look beautiful. So now
Thank you.
what I wanted to know, there's so many things I want to talk to you about. So I'm actually going to jump ahead before we get into color analysis, because I think that's a real important topic. And that's how I've always had you come to City College to train my students in color analysis. But I want to talk about you as an etiquette consultant. Tell me about that work, and because you've done some amazing trainings, and that's some of the stuff you and I have enriched so many young people's lives with your etiquette training. So talk about that a little bit for me.
Well, that's a great question. Also a great topic. I started getting interested in etiquette and social graces at IICI.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we had different industries that we worked on, and I was in the fashion, I was in the wardrobing part of it. And I remember I got so many compliments. People really were amazed at how I dressed, and so I knew how to do that. But I went to a luncheon with with one of the etiquette, that was Dana Mae
Casperson. Dana Mae Casperson.
Yeah, yes. And I joined her group. And so we were sitting around and we were talking, and I was very comfortable because I thought I was all of that in the way I looked. And so what happened is that I had a fork. And I was saying, and you do this, and I really feel, and this is what blah, blah. And I was using my fork to communicate to her and the other people. And all of a sudden, I kind of stopped and looked at her, and she was like,
thought she was going to stab her.
Yes. And I was like, what's going on? And she says, and she took my hand and she just put my hand down with the knife. Okay. And I was so embarrassed. I could have got on my knees and crawled under the tables.
Oh my goodness. And because Dana Mae she was an etiquette consultant.
Yeah, she was.
So she's watching you. Yeah, she's watching you thinking, oh my goodness.
That's money. Come see me, honey. Come see me. So that's how I started. And I talked with her about it. And so that was really what made me realize that your behavior is also so much a part of your image.
Yes.
How you look and how you behave in social situations, Yeah. And so I was like, I've got to get better. I knew the basics of how to hold your fork and all this stuff, but there was so much more that I need to have fine-tuned. And another way, and so I said, well, how am I going to do this? At that time, people didn't really want to know anything about etiquette or table manners, but I remember teaching at one of the workshops, one of the schools.
Mhm.
And at the end of the year, the kids had their grand dinner or whatever, and these kids had no idea what to do at the table. And this one young man was sitting there, he and his mother were sitting there, and they did not converse, they didn't look at, they didn't communicate with anybody. They had their heads down. And so I watched them, but of course, I didn't know at that time, but he was a straight A student. He was about 6'3", and when he stood up, he was this young man that was not comfortable
Okay.
at that event.
Okay.
And so I said, well, I'm teaching kids. So that's where I
Okay.
started. Mhm.
Okay. And you've done, I mean, amazing jobs. I remember when I was actually the chair of AICI for our etiquette supper dinner,
Mhm, mhm.
it was a no-brainer. I was like, I don't teach etiquette, but I know who does. Because I taught self-esteem. I
Right.
taught self-esteem. So
Mhm.
and at that time I was working with Naila House, that foster home.
Yes, yes.
And I called Sylvia and I was like, you know what? Miralee has made me the chair of this event. I need to put it on. And that's how I met Foz. That's how I
Okay.
met Foz, because Foz sponsored that night.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was such a beautiful night. We had Belva Davis there. I had Carl
Mhm.
Tatum there. It was just,
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
it was just a room full
yes,
of wonderfulness. But
yes, yes.
before we took the kids out, before the actual dinner night,
Mhm.
I actually had you come over to
Yes,
the group home. You
right.
came over to the group home with me, and we did makeup with the girls, and then you did the etiquette training, because we
Mhm.
wanted them to feel comfortable that night at the
Oh,
dinner.
yes,
We didn't want them to be
yes,
trained. So they got all dressed up, and it was just so
yes,
beautiful.
yes,
But
yes.
remember, before we actually after we did the training at the group home, I actually invited just 3 of the students to go meet with Foz. And then I
Mhm,
had you and Miralee also come meet him. Do you remember? I have
mhm, mhm.
wonderful pictures of
Yes.
that night, of that day, actually.
Oh,
Um,
really?
oh
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And so just being able to see those kids light up, it was phenomenal.
Oh,
And then
oh,
we
I
went
love
on,
it.
we did it with the Casey family.
Yes, that's what I
Oh,
remember as
you
well.
remember the Casey family? So you
Yes.
and I have done some amazing things together. And then let's not talk about the Obama stimulus money.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I love that. That was wonderful.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was really
yes,
when we did that seminar for
yeah,
EOC, Equal Opportunity. And I actually just
yes.
interviewed Dornisha.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
Dornisha, she was actually running that program that we did
Uh-huh.
at the time.
Yes,
So yeah,
yes.
so just amazing work. So your work as an etiquette consultant has been phenomenal. And I know you still do that, and we'll talk about near the end of the
Right.
show. But
Yes.
also I remember talking to you about the thank you notes. And is that like a thing of the past now? Do you know?
It pretty much is. Yes. What it is that with the everything electronic,
Yeah.
and digital, people don't have time to
Mm,
write notes.
okay.
And so they don't. They just go on the computer, email or text a thank you note or whatever. And then also the second thing is that we don't go have time to go out and buy stationery. And I remember when I was getting rid of some of my mother's stuff. She had these boxes of stationery and thank you cards and all this stuff. And she
Mm,
had her little pen, her little
mm-hmm.
address book. All of that was all a part of that. And
Yeah.
she always sent out birthday cards and thank you notes or whatever. But we don't have time to do that. Main thing too is that young people don't know how to write. They haven't been taught to write
They don't
in
do
cursive.
cursive. Yeah, they don't. Isn't that something?
Yeah, yeah. So
But you know what? But now, isn't it true? I still find, because I still will send out thank you notes. And I find
mhm.
that when a person, because people love getting mail, personal mail.
Yeah,
And
yes.
so when a person still gets a thank you note, that still has the same effect that it had back in the day, where that
Yes,
makes you very
yes,
memorable to that person.
yes, 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 yes. Well, I think that what's sad is that the people that really enjoy and love those are, the senior citizens. And so they don't know anything about email or
Yeah,
texting.
sure.
And so they're not able to get that wonderful feeling of connectiveness with their
Yes.
families. And so
Yeah.
that's really what's really sad. And when I was teaching the young people, there was a class that was mainly for teaching them how to write a thank you note and what all went into that.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's the main thing, is that there's a disconnect
Okay.
between people that are that are busy and those that are elderly. Mhm.
Okay. So now, being an image consultant myself, I know the importance again of color analysis. So I want to come back to that.
Mhm.
Can you give at least 3 to 5 reasons why someone should get color analyzed?
Yes. First of all, when you are wearing the right colors, you look healthier, younger, more alive, and builds confidence in the way you dress. Wearing the right colors, you can coordinate wardrobes that mix and match and work well together. You can choose makeup that coordinates with your outfits and save time and money,
Yeah.
buying
Yeah.
things that you don't have to throw away. You feel confident
Yeah.
when you're wearing those colors. And so that's only about 3 or 4 of them. It's about 10 reasons why
Well,
or
but you know
more.
what? I think that's a personal consultation.
Yes,
So now,
yes, it
Sylvia,
is.
so your best impression, Image Development Services, has been doing exceptionally well with your My Color Style and your image services. Talk
Mhm.
a little bit about that and how how people can reach you on that.
Okay. I my What I do is that I have a service that is called now my brain is not what did I s- what it was
My Color Style.
yeah, My Color Style. You deserve the best. Color Style and You. That's what it is. And so that is classes or presentations for individuals, one-on-one or groups, where we go over the things that will help you to create and build a memorable first impressions, or to get your image together. And
Okay.
that includes the wardrobe planning, the color analysis, body style analysis, personal style analysis. And so all of these things come together to help that individual to know how to dress themselves,
Yeah.
how to feel confident. And so that's what I do. I love that because it gives them all the information that they need to feel
Okay.
comfortable and feel and look fantastic.
Okay, one of the things that I actually skipped over about you that I think the audience would appreciate knowing too is that you are a cosmetologist as well.
Yes,
And
a
so,
long time ago.
well, but still,
It's
the
still,
simple fact,
yeah.
but you still sell skincare and makeup.
Yes, definitely,
And
definitely.
so, it's that whole pulled together image things that you need. And so as I
Yes,
look at you and how beautiful you look with these colors, I'm loving the colors actually, and the
thank
beautiful
you.
necklace and all of that kind of stuff. So I think you're representing what you do well. So Sylvia, I'd like to congratulate you on your recent hire as the concierge for an executive assisting living residence in Berkeley. And I think there you'll be able to conduct your workshops, give makeovers, and then teach dining etiquette to the different seniors and the staff. So they're
Mhm.
going to love them some you, girl. Yeah, because you're going to bring it.
I'm
They're going to
really
be,
excited.
yeah, you should be. They're going to be
Yes,
really, really
yes,
surprised at what they're going to get from you. Because
yes.
every day you'll be able to, bring something new.
Right, right. I'm
Yeah.
very excited. Yeah.
So,
And then
so
I'll be with people that are my age. I'm going to be 3/4 of a century next month.
Yeah,
So
but
I
you're
have some,
here. That's
yes, I
beautiful.
thank God. I thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
And to be able to relate to them, and
yeah.
um, I'm looking forward to that.
And then bring such a different kind of energy. It's going to be beautiful.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Sylvia,
Thank
before we end our session, is there anything you would like to say to the listening audience? And then how can they reach you?
You can reach me on my Facebook page, also my website, which is www.bestimpressions-ids.com. And so, yeah, or my email is the best at bestimpressions-ids.com.
All righty. Well, Sylvia, it has been such a pleasure having you on Straight Talking with Kelly, where real conversations happen. And we definitely have to do this again.
Yes, I just enjoy it. I enjoyed it, Kelly. And congratulations. You're doing such a phenomenal work as usual, and we'll carry on. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. And give your love to my love to your family. And then we'll definitely
Thank
connect soon
you.
because we got to get you back with Marilee too. So I think,
Yes,
because
yes,
she did
yes,
ask
yes,
about
yes.
you. Is Sylvia, I said,
Oh,
Sylvia's still around. Yes,
I'm
yes, yes.
still kicking it. Yes.
And so, and then we'll talk about you being, coming back to my city college class to talk about color
Okay.
analysis. Okay. So we'll
Okay.
make
That
sure
would
that
be great.
happens. So again, my pleasure having you. And
Thank
audience,
you.
audience, thank you for listening and watching. Hit that subscribe button, share, and see you soon. I have some wonderful guests coming up. And guess what? It could be you.